Welcome back to Face the Nation. I'm John Dickerson. We have more battleground tracker numbers from those key states that will decide the election. In Pennsylvania, Hillary Clinton holds an 8-point lead over Donald Trump, 48-40. North Carolina shows a tight race. Clinton leads Trump there, 48% to 45%. It's also a 3-point margin in Colorado, where Hillary Clinton is at 42 and Trump is at 39. And in Arizona, a Republican-leaning state where Clinton is doing well, Trump leads by just 2 points, 44-42%. We continue with the mastermind behind the battleground tracker, along with our friends at YouGov. That's CBS News Director of Elections, Anthony Salvato. All right, Anthony, inside those states, what are you seeing in terms of turnout for both sides?
Okay, the first thing you want to look at is the party split. How many Democrats there are for Hillary Clinton, how many Republicans there are for Donald Trump. Because on the latter, Donald Trump has lagged among Republicans relative to how Hillary Clinton is doing with Democrats throughout this campaign, and that's still the case. So he's still not getting that full support from Republicans, and she is getting close to 9 and 10 Democrats, and that's adding up to effectively the difference in a lot of these states. And that's sort of mixed in there with a little bit of a growing gender gap, and I keep my eye on that. The difference between how men vote and how women vote, more women leaning towards Hillary Clinton, more men going towards Donald Trump.
So in Pennsylvania, our finding is that 78% of the Republicans are behind Donald Trump. Would that explain why he's down 8 points in Pennsylvania?
It does, and that sounds like a lot, and it feels like a lot, but it's not enough. And so what that tells you is
78%
78% is not
right.
enough. I mean, a typical Republican is going to get closer to 90%. And so even when, you heard Governor Pence talk about Republicans needing to come home, that's what he's talking about. They're probably seeing the same things in their data, that there are a lot of Republicans for Donald Trump, but not enough to make up the difference numerically.
Right. So he's having huge rallies, but he needs more than the big rally groups. Let me ask you now about, in terms of changing the dynamic of the race, there's a lot of voting that's already taken place, as we talked about with Governor Pence, 21 million people. Does that make it harder to shift things now?
It does. So there's 20 million people, 21 million people have already voted, already cast ballots. And that's incorporated into the polling somewhat. But of course, those votes are in the bank. I mean, you look at places like North Carolina, and at least on party registration, which is not a perfect measure and doesn't mean we know how you voted. In party registration, Democrats are outpacing Republicans. So what that tells you is now Hillary Clinton doesn't have as far to go from here to Election Day, and Donald Trump needs to not only change minds, but get consistent turnout from here to Election Day, or even on Election Day, makes it a little bit harder.
All right, Anthony, thank you so much.